Wise decision. And it'll put XXS in a 1v2 for the start of the lane. Not ideal, but as long as he doesn't get too much regen burned here, an okay outcome.
Gyrocopter's a great hero to take advantage of those 1v2s as well. Disruption into Stomp, though, is going to be really dangerous as he tries to get aggressive. He's going to find that Rocket Barrage. All the damage gets soaked up by the illusions. Dryacho doing a good job, though, getting in front of XinQ and keeping up the damage. Dryacho's also taking a bit in return, though. And XXS.
Bit of a salve on the Shadow Demon, so I think Azure happy with that trade, particularly if XXS is the one who gets his HP non-removed, right? He just gets to bully Dryacho now. Anytime you can bully the Gyrocopter on early waves, you're happy about it.
Yeah, if you have that sort of advantage, Centaur's a great hero to take all this CS in the lane, right?
And Gyro is generally a support who kind of wants to out-trade you so that he can go in all-in kill with the missile. If you're low, it's a lot harder to do that. Early win here for Azure, and I mean, I'm particularly interested in this mid lane. I think this is a very weird matchup. I think it is a matchup that eventually goes OD's way. So I expect XM to pull ahead on these waves, particularly if you can get some of these Astrals into the range creep denies. That's what you're looking for. But level 5 is a big deal for this hero. You're either going 3 into Orb or you're going 3 into Astral, but it's one of the two. If you're going in the Astral, you need to win the lane harder. If you're going into the Orb, you just want to harass him. I think most OD players day and age are just going the 1-3-1. See what XM opts for here is itemization. Also very flexible.
That was in deep from Seleri.
Yeah,
how did he get caught underneath the tower like that? That's going to be your first blood for XXS.
Rare misstep from him. I feel like he's incredibly stable laner.
And Tianming, who was getting outplayed by Tofu in the previous lanes, is once again attempting a kill, but he will not be diving into the tower this time.
So once more, this Shadow Demon Phoenix support duo that we've seen out of Azure that I feel like is a little slow on paper. It doesn't look slow at all in their hands. They're the ones bullying supports out of the waves. And on this safe lane, it's really valuable because you're playing with a Naga. So
perfect. Tianming
you're winning the Naga lane. You're happy.
This is a big win for him if he could take away that sentry, but Tofu does manage to get it in time. They replace the sentry, though. They really want to make sure that they don't give control of the creep equilibrium over to Gaimin Gladiators.
So far, this has been Azure's best start to a laning phase. Honestly, they are doing very well right here on the CS board and net worth chart. The supports are pulling out the supports. The biggest thing about this, though, is going to be how much gold does Ace get in like the first 15 minutes of this game, right? Because you have to start thinking they're going to stack these Ancients for him. In fact, Ace does it for himself a lot of times on this hero, and he's already got an Ancient stack up off the board. Got another large camp stack already brewing. This is where the Beastmaster is going to accelerate. So if your lanes go well, you can invade that jungle area potentially. Maybe steal some of it with like the Naga Phoenix if you're having a really good game here. I doubt that's going to be on the table, but it's something you want to think about here in terms of potentially blocking those camps up.
One thing that's going to be very different about this game is we talked about in Game 3 and Game 4, Azure playing around XM quite a bit. And he was playing those very mobile heroes that could set up kills. OD is not quite the same archetype.
No. It's a lot slower hero. You're generally only going to get kills when Sandy's Eclipse is up. And Sandy's Eclipse is okay for ganking and killing in the early game. It's not the powerhouse spell it used to be in terms of late game, right? It just doesn't deal nearly the same amount of damage. You have like a mana allergy thing that's kind of cool, but honestly, it's not that impactful. They picked this hero for the Astrals, and they picked him for the save, enabling the other cores. And it's like a pick-off hero in terms of Naga pushing the lanes in. Maybe he can set some stuff up at burst a hero, and then you push more lanes in, right? So the Naga can enable the OD slow tempo here. You just can't get run over. And that is where I go back to the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster can set the tempo in this game against these slower cores. He's just going to have a free fall, right? Because the second your Eclipse is down, the second your Egg is down, are you taking the fights into all his summons if you're having a great game? Probably not.
Lots of stacks going on.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a huge triangle for Gaimin if they can hurt as the game progresses. But, well, lanes still going pretty solid for Azure. Particularly XXS, who has a very early helmet, is getting aggressive.
Hit him with the stomp again, a second double edge coming out, but Seleri did have the regen. Actually, too many stacks there, the poison. And Dryacho's not really going to be able to commit to this.
Yeah, he's not winning the trade. One and Lotus up for XinQ. He's just baiting out the trade, and another win for Azure on this offlane. XXS is going to be very fat in this early game. The stacks are going to have to make a comeback for Ace, but this Centaur's just going to get what looks like another fast Veil into Shiva's Blink build, right? Like, what's stopping you here? The attack speed is great this game.
Yep. A lot of refill, though, so Celeri's death isn't the worst, and I'm sure he'll probably stick around for that power rune that's coming up. Ace looks like he was trying to hunt down the Phoenix. Not good enough, though.
We are seeing Seleri take that rotation in the mid, set the wards up for the later
actually
fight.
going for the kill here.
This is aggressive.
Illusions get cleared out pretty quickly, but the Fire Spirits are landing for now.
He lands
Either
one
way,
more, he
do a
kills
lot
it.
of damage. Oh, the Fire Spirit landed. Jianbing gets it. He's
What
gonna
a
hit
boss.
by the axes, but he's going for the kill
Wants
on a
both.
as well. He landed both the shots required to get the double kill.
Jianbing, you monster. When you need supports to show up, Game 5 of a grand final is not a bad time to do it.
Oh yeah, I love the ego coming in. He knows he just outplayed the hell out of Gaimin Gladiators. And Quinn now on the run here. A little bit awkward for him. Places the ward in order to get.
There's a Sanity's here.
He's got a swashbuckle.
Oh, missed.
Oh, a swing and a miss there from XM. May still have a chance, but he actually gets juked.
That, I think, is an almost guaranteed kill if he lands it. Maybe not, but Quinn's not level 6, so you would have had to deal with the mana allergy there off the swashbuckle. It was going to be close, but that's a tough miss. Really want to make that spell count like the first 20 minutes.
Especially since you used a ward for it. Now, it looks like they may get a kill for it still. No, Seleri had some plenty of stick charges.
Still, I think Azure are okay trading this out because you ideally want the Pango getting the better exchange in these types of skirmishes, right? That's where you can abuse the OD early. He's a bit of a slower hero, so you're going even with an Outworld Devourer. Probably okay. I keep saying Devourer. It is Destroy.
True.
That's not my fault that Valve changed his name 8 times on me.
And he hasn't been a terribly meta hero for most patches. Hadn't seen him too much in the previous ones. But he's back here.
Dale done for XXS. So the early acceleration to that fighting item is going to put some extra pressure on dryacho, maybe afraid of some ganks. As the supports are continuing to play around mid, that has been their MO. Ace going for the stacks. And it'll be low going through the gate with Naga here looking for the kill on dryacho.
XM is low, and the supports are coming through. Both cores are getting ganked right now. dryacho, he's going to make a run for it. The Stampede is going to be catching up to him. The Stampede also bailing out the OD, so it serves a double purpose that works out beautifully for Azure.
They get both sides of the exchange there. Save their mid, gank the enemy carry. XM is just taunting his way up and down this mid lane. As there's not enough lockdown to find him, that's a Rolling Thunder on cooldown.
And they're still looking for this kill, but the thing is, Azure, they've been cleared up. Now their supports can rotate back into mid.
8-minute rune. No, they want to take it away from the Pango if possible. They lose the 50-50, but might get a Seleri kill in return.
Yeah, Seleri, he's being slow. Disruption into imprisonment, into more and more poisons. He's okay. Jianbing
Feeling himself. A lot of long-range damage that can come out from these supports. And once again, another Rolling Thunder for Quinn that doesn't yield anything on these mid exchanges, so it's just going back to Ace farming up these Ancients. He's going to try and get a very fast Beastmaster Ags, but he is getting outpaced by XXS right now. As he takes a tower, he is farming camps, he's cutting waves. The Centaur is going to be absolutely massive in this game. And then it begs the question of, can Ace run into the Centaur even if he gets a lot of acceleration here?
got the roar that allowed the silence to last through, and they get the last hit on Tofu for that kill.
Really important for the support levels here. Tofu needs the extra points. Grimstroke is not a hero you want to fall behind on. All of his spells are very valuable. Wouldn't be surprised to see him leech some of this Ancient XP, honestly. So far, tempo has been stifled here for Gaimin. They're going to once more have to play from behind as a 3k gold lead at 10 minutes for Azure. Not think many people would have bet on this team winning laning phases.
They're just not letting XM alone. Seleri doesn't even care if you know. Here, bounty rune for Quinn. There is one thing about this. I mean, stacking up all those Ancients, there's no real fear of Azure's lineup getting in there and stealing those stacks.
That's why I said if they could have blocked it, it would have been nice, but that's really the had.
Yeah.
And you know Gaimin, we're going to prioritize freeing that outcome. They just need the items as fast as possible on Ace, what their lineup functions around. It'll be Witchblade for XM. Classic OD item.
Yeah,
Curious if he goes Parasma on this hero, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think a great hero for it.
I think you do at some point, right? Like, I feel like if you're going Witchblade, you eventually go that. Just makes sense.
Yeah.
Be an interesting new way to develop the hero.
Disruption means that Seleri is going to be stalled up long enough for XM. Oh, he actually turns around, goes for Quinn
they want
instead.
the bigger prize.
He's going to lit the stomp land. Do they have the damage to burst him down? Quinn's going to try and get up that Rolling Thunder, and he does manage to do so. Gets in, gets an Arcane Rune too, so that is great for him.
Solid turnaround for Quinn. So another Rolling Thunder that's not used aggressively. A little sad, but Arcane will make up for it. And we're seeing a little, you know, until you have max orb points on OD, he's not doing that much burst damage. That's what the hero plays.
They smoke up, and they're going for the stack right now, the ancient stack. They see this, and they see XXS farming away.
Seleri was scouting out on the backside.
He does have Stampede, though. XXS, he can easily get himself to safety, but he instead takes the rocket. He's going to get chain stunned up a little bit. The Stampede goes out. He makes a break for it. The ghost, it's a close call, but he doesn't finish him off. The ghost swashbuckle.
Off the mark.
Barely clips him, doesn't quite finish him off the kill.
And that'll finish up his blink. Costly kill to miss here.
Top tower is under attack.
He was gonna stomp him and go back in if that ghost did not land.
Look how much Gaimin Gladiator's committing here to try and take away this ancient stack. They really wanted to pick off into guaranteed control here.
This is a slow steal. I mean, there's no Beastmaster here.
Middle tower is under
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, unless you want to just fight with the Chrono, but it's a glove of haste. Beastless Void in the Chrono, and you don't have Gyro ulti.
Yeah, you don't have the best damage to throw into it.
No. Honestly, I think Dryacho's game, it's gonna be tough, right? Just so many saves. Like, you can't really Chrono anybody and have it do anything on its own. It's an okay time dilation game. But Naga is pretty debilitating for this hero as well in terms of just the man fight, so...
Yeah, fast enough Orchid pickup to destroy their lineup.
Yeah.
Tango and Void, they hate that item.
He's gonna have it fast because Low has had an absolutely free game here.
for my glory.
This is gonna go into the mid game 5-on-5s. Kind of gonna be Ace versus XXS in terms of these offlaners dictating the course of battle.
Another win for Gaimin Gladiators in the rune luck. They're going to amplify damage rune for Quinn.
A nice one. So he's still trying to finish the Fusel, right?
Yeah.
This is probably the slowest Pango game we've seen. Didn't find the connections on the Rolling Thunder, and the Fusel gets delayed, and lowers his damage output significantly. I mean, this is what the hero's about the Fusel. I think in that first Pango game that we saw, like, he was 7K net worth at 14 minutes, right? He was where Low is right now, so it's a big exchange in terms of tempo. Given some time. What Azure decide to do with that time is they're going to 3-man smoke 2 cores, Witchblade, Gun for the OD, and Blink for XXS online. So they have the initiation, they have some damage. Are they bold enough to just go into triangle? You have to know this is where Ace is, right? Where else is Beastmaster going to be on the map? It's one of the 2 ancient camps. Yeah, they may be willing to take that fight.
They went to the lane instead, and as a result, the smoke is going to crash into Seleri instead of allowing them to get up into that triangle area and catch Ace out.
So that's a tank right there. He is purposely screening Ace from the smoke, trying to get this Axe done. He is 50 gold off. And you can start to take those 5-on-5s.
Pretty good move if you ask me.
Could be a nice tower to get down for Azure as well. Open up those Ancients. Make Ace's life a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Beast does not like losing this tier 1 before he takes yours. And you look at the towers right now for Azure. 2 of them are full.
Radiant's top tower.
They can easily fight around these tier 1s if they want to, because they're just so damn high HP.
Yeah, Gaimin Gladiators, usually it's their MO to take towers before 10 minutes. In fact, they're the team who's taken the most towers at this tournament, way ahead of anybody else. But here, they've been stifled a bit. Haven't been able to take any tier 1s, and it's Azure who've gotten 2. And all that space, not only is it bad for Beastmaster, right, but it's great for Naga Siren.
Oh, yeah.
Push the lane in deeper and deeper with those illusions.
Low still playing up here because they know they can take the fight around this tier 1. They have so much counter initiation. This is the test for Ace. You just try and push the tier 1 straight up.
Middle tower is not
You feel that strong on Beastmaster with this Ags right now. Fusel coming out for the Pangolier, so these are your 2 best early game fighting items. To get the fights out of this. If you're not strong enough now, it just feels awful, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna have to force it at some point. Azure can take that fight if they want to. They have all their ults up.
Got a pretty potent combination in the Song of Siren into Stomp plus Supernova. There's like a lot of setup abilities that Azure can benefit from. But that would also put those abilities on cooldown, put them in a team fight that they may not win. They're going to take the safer route here. It seems like they're just going to get more efficiency on the map. They're back up to a 3K net worth lead.
His push is not that fast. There's Naga Illusion stalling it up a bit. Wasting some spells, wasting some time. Power has taken a while to bulldoze down. And like you said, they're just farming the whole map, right? Q pushing in bottom, XXS farming enemy jungle right now. He is closing in on his Shivas, by the way. And XM gets to clear through the Ancients because they don't have an Ancient-dependent carry. So very efficient on the map right now from Azure as Gaimin are just going to 5-man, and this tower's still not taking damage.
Yeah, Gaimin managed to finish off that wave pretty easily. Got Gaimin Gladiators to try and go on him. Now Ace is like, okay, we've got a siege wagon. This is a must-take right here, right now. Can't let them delay this any longer. But boy, Azure got a lot of space on the map. Look how spread they are around the map. Everybody's farming something.
Yeah, it made him work for it. It'll be Shivas for Ace. No surprise there. This is just the go-to item at this point. It should be pretty damn nice on him, right? Shiva's Ags, you get the extra spell amp from this. Suddenly this drum and the axes are doing a lot more work. It's gotta be a really nice timing for him as he's still having a very smooth game here.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's looking for the backstab in the tier 1, so Gaimin deciding now's the time to just start bulldozing his towers. Can't blame him. Try and free up the space for dryacho versus low and this carry-on-carry
Radiant's
XP.
bottom tower is under attack.
This is also the part in the game where OD can feel a bit awkward because he doesn't have the mobility item, he doesn't have the BKB.
Dryacho's going for it, but look at XinQ. He made this read. He's going to fade it out and then disruption purge onto dryacho. Now he's in trouble. He has to use the time walk to get up to the high ground, but Tianming is going to pursue. XXX right there. Quinn, he needs to be able to stop this damage, but it doesn't come quick enough. Dryacho gets bursted down, and Quinn will do what he can, but the Supernova is there to be able to cover him. XXX is not going down easy.
He's holding Song on Lu too. He's thinking about the catch.
Ace, he still feels strong, still wants to take this fight, charges forward, but instead, Disruption's going to try and burst him down the sunray. It's going to clip out the mana energy, and they got him. They even managed to save the Centaur, who honestly was pretty safe, but the imprisonment just to make sure. And look at that cleanup.
Oh man, Gaimin are in trouble now. This is game 5. The pressure's on. You're making a forced chrono play. I mean, again, you're playing into a 5-save lineup. You just don't see enough heroes on the map. He had the ward bottom, so I guess he saw some, but XinQ is just ready for it. And that's all she wrote, right? Now you're in cleanup mode. There's not enough damage in the tank here because Ace has to run to this fight. The fight was not around the Beastmaster. It was around this Chronosphere. That is not what you want right now. And all of these ults got some decent value out for Azure. Protect the Centaur at multiple points. Stall up the Beastmaster here with a nice disruption. You get the aura on the backside. Allows a second stomp to come through. And that Eclipse Sunray just, it's devastating, right? Yeah. I don't think Ace got to right-click anything in this entire fight. That's your Ags reveal in a sense, right? I can sense the frustration. It's like, guys, we need to play around me.
It is a raw turnaround in this series, particularly for dryacho, who came into this saying, this is going to be an easy 3-0. Well, here they are, now in a game 5, down 7,000 net worth.
Easy reverse sweep, perhaps, as Azure have swung all the momentum in this series. Taking the wind out of their sails. Like you said, they are at a significant deficit right now, facing a scary scaling lineup with a Naga Siren that can cut the waves, stall the map.
Yeah, you might feel good about the fact you've got a Faceless Void going late, but the Naga Siren is just such a good counter.
But that's the thing, do you? That was the upside of all of these later picks for Azure. You have so many saves for the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
It is not a straightforward Faceless Void game at all.
You're going to get controlled by nets. You're going to get countered on the Chronosphere every which way. Disruption, Song, imprisonment. Hell, even just like Sunray is massive.
That's a fight where Azure got to use their ults, and they didn't get punished for it. They got to farm the map. Shifts the onus back onto Gaimin here to make something happen and clean up space. Once again, these Naga Illusions have just been scouting things, making it really annoying to make the moves.
And these Naga Illusions are like you said, they're giving vision and such, but they're about to become a real threat with the Orchid complete. Now Low can actually start getting involved in some of these fights.
Every pair of illusions you see is potentially a threat.
Yeah. You could see Gaimin Gladiators playing more and more scared.
They're just waiting for the Shivas on Ace. That's it. All your cards, man, right here. To be a crazy team fight from him. Damage impact.
Needs a hand.
Because I don't see the Pengular Void cleaning it up at this point in time.
Structures are fortified.
The upside is the objective taking for Azure Raid is absolutely terrible.
True, yeah.
So, like, you're not too worried about getting your towers or Roshan bulldozed down. You have some time in that sense to set up the proper fight, maybe get a good rune to do it. Haste for Quinn will definitely help.
Good positioning by Low. Deep onto the enemy side of the map where he can cut waves.
Yeah, this is the Naga Dream.
He can clean up both mid and bottom while hitting neutrals.
every time Gaimin have to come back to clean these up, it's a move that they can't make. That's the part that's so frustrating. They want to get the brawl going right now. Possible. There's blink daggers coming out for Azure too. There's a blink on XinQ, so he's kind of hard to catch. The blink on the OD, he can Astral blink out, blink on Centaur. A lot of these heroes can get disrupted or Astral and just blink away.
Look at him. He's breaking the smoke and blinking away.
What do you do versus this, right? Your catch is pretty damn limited. It's Ace walking in and roaring somebody. That's your catch. Spell is not that large cast range wise. Feels like you need some more jump here. Blink dagger, shadow blade, I don't know, something to find something on this map. Right now, Azure are just out farming you.
Needs a hand.
Seems like they're happy scaling here.
Art up next for low. Gaimin Gladiators, they got to get something soon. Looks like they're going to set up around Roshan, but Azure, they may have an idea of this is going on. They're going to get a 4-man smoke and start making their way for the contest.
They have level 2 egg. Thing to keep in mind here, if Gaimin can get in there deep, there's not a lot of heroes that are happy manning up for it into the Shiva, Stomp Centaur, into the sleep that can save it. Deadly spell right now. You don't have debuff immunity.
Scary.
Yeah, this is a bold play, but it could backfire really hard versus the AoE from Azure.
Dryacho placed up on the high ground. He sees this coming. Time dilation, time walk down. Gaimin Gladiators won't be caught by surprise inside the pit.
Yeah,
but they are on the low ground, and tofu is going to be found. They spotted him, and they do manage to get him with the Centaur. See if they can burst him down. They have the Supernova on.
Bailout?
Song going
Not
out
enough.
at the same time.
This is awful for Azure. They wasted egg. They wasted Song.
A lot of abilities thrown around to very little effect, and now Gaimin Gladiators, they see their opportunity to turn this pace around. They go straight for low. A disruption only buys them a little bit of time. He's going to come back into hell and get bursted down. Down he gets sent. Dryacho looks for more. An imprisonment to be able to buy XinQ a bit of time. Maybe he can blink away. Flat cannon shots, stalling him up even more.
He has another blink at 4, but I don't think it's going to be up in
on
time.
the way. Time dilation. He'll catch him.
Huge team fight for Gaimin. This is what they needed to get back in this game. Some uncoordinated ultimates out from Azure, and Egg that's in an awkward position because they just didn't know where the heroes were. I thought this was just going to be illusions going in scouting. XXS committed. Thinks he's tanky enough to survive the burst, but you are not, as that Rolling Thunder cleans you up even into the Song, and that forces an awkward set of spells out between the Song and the Egg, right? All of a sudden, Ace just has a free fight, and this fight's over at this point. It's cleanup time, as saves don't do anything for you when you have lost the initiative. Aegis on the Pangolier. Huge amount of gold going into Ace's pockets. Absolutely massive turnaround, almost 6K off that single team fight that could have gone horribly wrong when you jam yourself in the corner like that. There's a lot of AoE ults, but they made it work.
This is why this team is so tough to be able to bring down in best of 5s. You always find a way to be able to make some decent team fights work for them. They had the correct read on how to make that one. Azure, we're gonna have to do a little bit better. And then that worth lead. Now they're going for Quinn, but the Orchid, just
Not
like
there.
half a second too late. So close to getting that pick off. Could have taken away that Aegis, taken away that advantage.
Now that 5-on-5 for Azure doesn't seem as confident as before, right? You injected a lot of gold in these Gaimin cores. It's gonna be low going back for an Eternal Shroud. Interesting idea. I thought it would have just been heart or, more scaling damage. This is an item that got changed a lot in the patch. It's very good versus magical burst damage. In theory, it can help him fight the Beastmaster here, deal with some of the Pango and Grim spells coming out in the middle of the fight. It is a weird item on this hero. Not one I've seen a lot. We'll see if he can make it work. I mean, if it keeps him alive, that's great, but it does not deal any damage here, right?
No.
And the question is, how are you killing Ace if he gets this BKB? And that fight might have just gotten him there. It's going to be close to having it for the next fight.
I thought surely, like, Art straight into Bloodthorn, all of a sudden your damage is intense low.
BKB Butterfly, some route like this.
Yeah, the scan on him. They know he's here. They see his illusions popping out. They're going to try and chase him down. Although now he knows he's being hunted as well. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. Chased after the wrong illusion here.
Right now, it's Azure trying to restabilize this game and catch up to their next set of items.
Radiant's middle tower's not
Ags and BKB for XM is something that's going to change the team fight a lot. It's going to let the OD go and actually get damage out, save people more reliably.
Radiant's middle
It's a big
tower
shift
is
as
under
well as the
attack.
heart on XXS. Just up the HP levels to where the spell damage coming out from Gaimin isn't enough to put them over the threshold. In fact, it's an Eternal Shroud for him too. So Azure is just identifying that Gaimin pretty dependent on the spell damage right now. They're trying to mitigate it as much as possible.
Stretches are fortified.
Also help them a little bit with the mana burn that's coming out from this Pango.
Yep.
Azure taking 2 lanes at once here. Some advantage that they kind of will always have, while Gaimin Gladiators have to make more of a 5-man commitment to take a tier 2, but they'll get it.
Dire's top tower is
How far do they go, though?
Getting some
Radiant's middle
utility
tower
on their
is under
supports as
attack.
well, which was pretty vital in a lot of their earlier wins. They have the Solar Crest, they have the mech, they have the Shard on the Grimstroke, another save that can go out, counteracted a single target initiation from this Centaur. XXS's life is not that straightforward anymore. Coming more and more down to placements, right? Where does the egg go off? How many heroes are trapped in it? Who does this Eclipse hit? Dryacho all alone in no man's land. He wants another attempt at XinQ. He wants revenge for the save from earlier, but that guy is
coming in. XM blinks in. A song also used, which makes things a little bit more awkward. BKB gets off on Dryacho. He's going to go for the TP out, but the physical damage, woo, it was close. 100 HP. Dryacho lives, though.
I mean, this guy's taking aggressiveness to a new level, right? That is an absolute solo play on their side of the map with 5 heroes off the map for a 2000 HP awesomer Cape Shadow Demon. I respect the balls on this man. He barely gets out of there with BKB intact, life intact.
That now means Chronosphere on cooldown, but it doesn't seem to be slowing down Gaimin Gladiators, who, playing around Quinn, feel confident. With 45 seconds left on the Aegis, they take another tier 1, look to take another tier 2. Azure say, yeah, you can have it. We're going to take the rest of the map.
Building into their scale items, right? It's going to be the Mjolnir for Dryacho, the BKB is done for Ace, and that Axe for Quinn. These are big damage items coming out. A lot of you to sit in the fight. They're going to start the poke here. 30 seconds still on this Aegis. But they want to take the fight anyway on the side of Azure. I feel like Dryacho's not here, and guess what? He isn't. So you're going to get a 5-on-4 if you really want it.
Shivas, it's on to 2 with the stomp on the Beastmaster. Already down to half health, but he gets off the BKB. XXN, who's already shown he can be blown up, and it looks like that's going to be what's happening unless the saves come through. 1 disruption. Now an imprisonment potentially is low. Starts chasing after the Beastmaster. Wants to finish him off. Quinn, he tries to push those away, but now he's going to be in trouble. The burst damage is too much for him to handle. And Dryacho came into this, but he doesn't have a Chronosphere. He time walks
Trapped himself.
He's trapped in the trees. BKB, TP out, and will make it again. But a bad fight for Gaimin Gladiators. Azure play it slow, and they play it patient, and Gaimin Gladiators stumble right into their trap.
Beautifully kited with the saves. They make sure to not commit on the Beastmaster BKB. They bail XXS out at the right time. Another Stampede is up trying to catch Seleri. They will get him. Transitioning it into more pickoffs and a damage amp rune. Azure strike back with a pretty nice defensive fight, all off of that top play from Dryacho. He's not there with the team because he doesn't have BKB, he doesn't have Chrono. But it begs the question, should you be there with the rest of Gaimin in a 4v5 where the ults are up for Azure and you're missing your best control spell? Dryacho shows up just to leave. And it's costly, another 7k into Azure's pocket almost off that. This game back once more. That'll push XM to his next item, and this is where Outworld Destroyer becomes obnoxious because he's likely going to go for the Ags. He could opt for the BKB here, but these Astrals are going to become a problem. And now he has the defensive Ags in terms of if he gets jumped. So if you go on anybody else, Astral's annoying. If you go on the OD, suddenly he has this, effective borrow time spell that goes off and gives him the shield.
Yeah, this is crazy. Somehow they have to be able to get a Chronosphere on the Naga, OD, and the Shadow Demon.
It's tough. It's very tough. That's why this game is not easy for Dryacho, man. Maybe why he's trying to force these aggressive plays. Now, the one item I think is a big game changer for Gaimin is, well, they're going to clean up a shard here. See what goes on. Seleri, not a bad one. Guard.
Yeah,
they're just rushing Hex on Tofu. And I actually think this is the right play. Like, I don't think a Glimmer or any random utility item is going to change the course of the fight, right? But a Hex definitely could if you can get there. It's just going to be a while to get there. However, leading a fight off with double Soulbind and a double Hex, that's a way to play around these saves because you're going to force so many saves out initially. Suddenly you can start the Chrono Heroes afterwards. You can reward them afterwards. The more disables you get, the easier the fight's going to become. It'll be a smoke from Gaimin, but it's instantly popped by XinQ. He blinks
Deja
out.
vu! Almost the exact same spot where XinQ posts up, breaks the smoke, sees some of the aggression from Gaimin Gladiators, and gets away.
Yeah, it's just been an absolute menace on the map, man. So many of these games, it's not even the spellcasting that stands out, it's the map positioning, it's breaking the smokes, playing aggressively. He just knows his limits, he doesn't give anything up. Makes your game awful. And right now, Gaimin are feeling it as it's another smoke foiled. That was the Mjolnir finish for dryacho.
Yeah, with the Mjolnir finish, a gem bought and a smoke used.
They wanted to
Gaimin
get this.
Gladiators really needed that to connect.
Now it's going to be a counterplay. Shadowblade done for low. He can play a lot more aggressive. On top of Bloodthorn finished. He's actually massive all of a sudden.
Ace, they're gonna run right into him. Norkin immediately puts to use. BKB goes out, but Quinn's already dead.
Gone.
Once the core's gone, they know they have to make a break for it, and the song will catch some more. Both supports are gonna get caught.
Take your pick, right? They'll probably try and take both. Why not? They're gonna get him here as the smoke break from XinQ sets up the counterplay from Azure, and they find 3 off it.
The gem gets it onto the courier.
Yeah, they rescued it. Tandem support courier rescue. Not a bad way to do it. They recover some net worth, but once more, this game is starting to spiral, right? 14K gold lead. Ag's done for XM. The targets you could jump are just, you're running out of them on the side of Gaimin. Blink done for Ace. There's your initiation power.
Structures are fortified.
But you don't need the initiation anymore because the fight has come to you. Azure knocking on the door.
Chronosphere only catching the Noggin Siren, and the save is there. XM immediately put it to use. dryacho now turns on to XXS, but it's not looking great on the damage department. Quinn, he chases after them. Rolling Thunder actually puts the war onto the Centaur, but now here comes the Supernova. How are you walking into this one? The Beastmaster is losing health fast, and there's nobody who can bail him out. Look at XM flanking forward with the aggression. Gaimin Gladiators. They had this. Here's only the Beastmaster goes out. He bends in a beautiful stop from XXS. A 3-man stop that allows them to be able to chase down all of Gaimin Gladiators one by one. They will claim every single life. Gaimin Gladiators teetering on the brink. And Azure give them the little push. Take Elena Barracks and are now gonna go for the throne even. Gaimin Gladiators, they don't have a way to stop this one.
There's a 5-act coming up for dryacho, but what does he do with it? No Chronosphere. No hope in the fight. That was a desperation chrono. You know the saves are coming out. Azure, the last Chinese hope in a season devoid of tier 1 tournament wins. Trying to claim their stake in the Twilight Hour against the Behemoth.
Middle tower's not
it has been absolutely unstoppable by our team spirits.
They respect the buyback there from dryacho with some of the death timers running low. They say, no need to push this anymore. They couldn't have gotten a second lane of barracks. Tier 2s were still up. Watch that fight again, though. You could see Gaimin Gladiators, they really were getting nothing out of this.
It's just so stretched, right? Seleri's dead. Tofu can't get in here to combo with any of the spells. Every time they throw out an ult, there's something behind it. Messing with them in a 4-man eclipse off the Astral. I thought XM overextended. Just kidding. I have a save of my own. There are no easy targets in this game as XSS finds them all with a stomp. And once you start getting run down, once your ultimates are out, once the Beastmaster's off the playing field, it's just cleanup duty.
Victory.
They are feeling it now. They are one more team fight away from breaking this team in a reverse sweep in the final tournament of the year. There have been very few in the history of Dota. This would be an historic one. As Ags completed for XinQ, he now has double cleanse, double demonic purge with break on top of it. The items are just rolling in. It's gonna be aggression from here on out.
Jump in, XM, fearless in his pokes here. dryacho tries to go for a punish here, has to use BKB, gets bonus got on 3 cores. There is the Sun Ray out though at the same time. His damage is looking great. Quinn, he's gonna roll in. The disables are there, but not the damage.
And time to go to sleep as Low sets it up. Can you find the stop afterwards?
Gaimin immediately goes out from Ace, turns around.
Well, they got
controls up the Phoenix. Maybe they can blow him up. The Soul Bomb.
Got silence.
Control.
Another save.
Comes out for a second.
He has egg.
Scepter, can he swashbuckle go up inside? He gets the egg off. And now Tango's gonna die instead. Another
clipped
set
him to hell.
rips it away from you. Dryacho hidden in the trees, desperate to get out. XM always on the hunt. Won't be able to find his mark this time around, but the damage is already done. Azure can just take this tier 2. Barracks are gonna lie completely open for the taking.
And what's left in the tank here? You don't have a buy on Ace. You do not have a buyback on Quinn. This is a 3-on-5 with no Chronosphere. Absolutely good luck. And the ults are just going to start coming back up for Azure. You have another song in 25. You might not have a base by the time your heroes are back up. Azure, they want everything here.
No ultimate.
Trophy.
Few buybacks. Buildings dying rapidly. Gaimin Gladiators, they got to put together a miracle here just to hold on.
I mean, we have seen them perform miracles, but this would be the greatest of the entire year. As Megas are down, Lowe still has Aegis for 2 minutes here,
And he's playing like it's
Chrono.
right up in their face.
Don't have time.
Soulbind, which is good control on both the Centaur as well as the OD. But again, no real threat. XXS just shrugs off the damage.
He's daring them right now. Please go on me. Try and stop this game 5 right now.
They can't do it. Stomped indeed. XXS can feel they are just moments away from being able to take this best of 5 to turn this series around.
XXS daring them once more, pushing himself on the front line. Chrono up in 9 seconds right here. They're trying to stall for the ultimate to be back up, but again, who are you throwing it on?
Jump back in.
Last time and it didn't do anything.
Look at that damage onto the Pango. That was almost enough just to Chrono. They immediately have to go to the Chronosphere, but the saves once again. The Centaur, nothing else. The song comes out as well. The Tamps are mid-team fight. They know this is already done. They can sense it. The team fight's over. You can't do anything without this. Dryacho caught inside the supernova. The sun will explode in his face, blinding him. Blinded to the fact the hubris, they thought they could get this 3-0. Down 4 games against Gaimin Gladiator, stopped 4 games in a row. This wasn't just a game. This wasn't just a series. This was vindication. Vindication for Azure, vindication for China.
The twilight hour here.